Welcome to the Daily with Haley. Of course, I'm your host, Haley, and I look forward to you tuning in today to get your daily dose of encouragement. Hi, friends. Today, we're going to talk about putting your glasses on. So, I wear contacts, disclaimer, and Lord knows I can't see, y'all. I cannot see. My prescription is like -7. I mean, really and truly, when I take my contacts out, I'm not even lying to y'all. I can only see colors. So, but grateful to God that I have vision and I can see with contacts. However, I say all this to say that I'm asking you the question to start off with. Do you ever feel like trusting God is trying to look once you take your contacts or glasses out or off? Because I do, guys. Sometimes I really do. And I'm like, let me say that again, just in case, the question was, do you ever feel like trusting God is like trying to look once you have taken your contacts or glasses off? Now, if you have 20/20 vision, I'm jealous. But on a serious note, when I take my contacts out, like I said, I can only see pretty much colors. Everything is super, super, super fuzzy, and there is not a clear picture. So what I kind of realized was like, okay, so I can kind of see what it is, but it's fuzzy, right? It's fuzzy. And so I thought, okay, well, sometimes this is how, my walk in Christ is. Like, when we're like in the middle of a season, or we're in the middle of waiting, for our next chapter, our next door, it's kind of like, okay, Lord, like, I trust you and I'm trusting you, but I'm just can't, it's kind of fuzzy. Like, oh, I don't know what you've got in store, but I'm gonna trust. And so another kind of aspect to that was that when we put our spiritual glasses on, we can see people the way Jesus does. And this episode was honestly born from this past Sunday at Motion Church. Pastor AB talked about compassion, and that message was absolutely wonderful. And it really made me ask myself, are you looking through the lens of the human flesh? Or are you looking through the lens of Christ? Because those are two separate things. And, I thought to myself, oh, like, gosh, that was a hard question to ask myself, because God really, like, sometimes really convicts you of stuff, and you're like, oh man, Lord, not right to the heart. So that one was to the heart. And it's really easy when someone may look in the human flesh, and like we see their current situation, like we see their past, and we kind of, unfortunately, if I'm being really honest, sometimes we can kind of deem them as like, I'm not going to spend my time ministering to them, or I'm not going to spend my time being, anything to them, because they're just a lost cause, right? They're just a lost cause. Just forget it. You can't say anything to make them do anything different. You can't do anything to do, just forget it. Just forget it, right? Let's be honest, you guys. We've all said it. Maybe not proud of it. I'm surely not proud of it, especially after this. But it's true. It's true. And so it's really hard to look through the lens of God, especially to those people and to people that have hurt us, and people who have maybe not been so nice to us, and maybe not treated us right. But this is what I ask you. And gosh, this is a tough question, but do you remember how God was kind to you and compassionate to you in your weakest moments? Ouch. Ouch is right. The stung just a little bit. Okay, guys? But it's so true. if we think about it, how much grace and compassion has God showed us, right? Even when maybe the world gave up on us, right? But I ask you, and I say this because what if we could be that one person for somebody? Who knows? We say, oh, we can't make a difference. Oh, we can't do anything. But do we know? Do you know that what you say can't do anything? We don't. And you know what? We may say something and be compassionate, and they may not choose to listen. But it's okay. Because we are looking through the lens of Christ, because that's what God did for us. And I've said it before in another episode, we may not solve the solution, but we've planted a seed. And a seed of compassion goes a long, long, long way. And so, and guys, I am guilty of this because, I have faced some situations in my life and with people who are very close to me. I have a family member who, is been battling, unfortunately, addiction for a while. And one thing that God really showed me was that, we have to be compassionate to them. And I still believe that they're going to come around. And I still believe that, they're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And you know what, though, guys? Even if I'm not around to see it, I still have to trust, and I have to look through God's lenses to that person, because that's what we're called to do. And it's really, really, really hard. But we don't know. We don't know. And so if we ignore that person, or we ignore that thing, that God may be calling us to reach out to that person to do, we don't know what we're missing out on. And think about it. Has God sent somebody in your life? When God showed you that grace and compassion, did you listen the first time? Did you say, all right, God, I'll throw in the towel? Odds are probably not, guys. I'm just being real. Odds are probably not. And so I encourage you not to give up on that person, just like God didn't give up on you. And, my brother is a good example of this. He might murder me for calling him out, but it'll be okay because he said he would come on the podcast and he's going to talk about his story. But he was in a really dark season in his life, a really dark season. And, he was making some poor choices, some really, really poor choices. And I prayed and I encouraged him, but there was some times that I did feel like, God, why am I doing this? Like, he's not listening. But I planted the seed, and now he's doing really, really good. And so I say all this to say, and there's other people in my life that have been encouraging, and they're still not on the mend. But that's okay, because we're doing what we're called to do, which is be a vessel and to look through the lens of God. And so just like my brother, if I would have just threw in the towel, and I'm not saying that he turned his life around because of me by any means. I'm just saying that I don't know if I wouldn't have planted the seed, what would have happened, right? So all we can do is plant the seed and show that grace and compassion just like Christ showed us. So go out your day today. Come on, put on your goggles of Christ and look through them goggles and say, all right, I'm going to choose to see through the eyes of God and not through the human flesh. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but I hope that you'll accept it. I hope that you will accept the challenge, because you can do it and you can plant that seed. And I promise you, your seeds will not go unwatered. I love you guys. Join me, put your glasses on, and go have a good day. I will talk to you tomorrow. Cha 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 cha.